Hey guys, how's it going? Fred here on a Sunday. I had to have my septic tank pumped this morning, and while the guy was here pumping my septic tank, he wanted to look at some of my old cars. Often people ask me how I find the stuff I find, where do I find it? The answer is really simple. Oftentimes I buy stuff I don't even know I have, but when I go somewhere, I look absolutely everywhere you can possibly look. And this right here is a perfect example. This car has been sitting on my property for about 2 years. Came from an old estate, was hauled off for junk, and I brought it out here and I'm using it as a cow pasture. I stack these cars around so my cows can't get out. You might hear them mooing in the background. So today, I walked up to this car and I looked in the side of this car from the cow pasture, and you're not gonna believe what I found. So, as I look through the window, this is what I spied. Check this out. Those are FE Ford heads. And anybody that knows anything looking at them can tell they're the multi-pattern heads, which means a couple things. Either they're Shelby heads, they're GT390 heads, or they're 428 Cobra Jet heads. We're gonna haul them out and see. We can see one here. I can see another one down there. So we're gonna flip these up and check the date codes out on them. So the first thing to look at on these is obviously the bolt holes. 4 there, 3 there, 3 there. You add them up, flip them up, and you see the casting date, C7AEA. That's pretty cool. So what that means is his head was cast in 1967 for Ford passenger car engine. A is the application. A doesn't stand for application, but when you look up A, it tells you what they fit. Now the important part for most anybody restoring a car is this date right here, 6K14, which means this date was cast 1966. K, I believe, is October, and 14 is a day, which would make this a correct date-coded head for a 1967 428 car, built probably late 66, early 67. So that's what one of these heads are. Let's bring out the other ones. Oh, better than that, these heads have actually been checked at one point. It says no cracks. Here's another one. It says mag clean. Apparently David did them. We're gonna look here. This one actually has the 16 bolt heads, which is usually a sign it's a Cobra Jet. And look at this right here. CAOE means 68 car engine. 6090N. N is your Cobra Jet head. So this is a set of original Cobra Jet, well, set, this is one of them, with the smog ports that have been blocked off. Casting date 8H. H would be August. 8's the year, 21's the day. So this would be correct for an early 1969 Cobra Jet car. The great part is there's 4 heads in here. You're gonna hope that they're actually close to correct. There we go again. This one you can't read as well, but again, it's a C8 head, CAOE 6090, and it looks like another N. Date code is identical to the other head, 8H26. So these heads definitely were put on the same car and came out. Has the smog ports, and I don't see any markings on this head. I'm gonna assume these two heads were together, checked at the same time, and this mag clean was for the pair of heads. So far, we've got a set of GT500 heads, correct for 67 GT500, and we've got a set of 69 Cobra Jet heads. And wouldn't you know it, There's the other 67 AEA head. Date code 6K17. So again, we're looking at October 17th. These heads most likely came on the same car. Now they're a little bit rusty, but the head that was with this had, oh, this one does too, has no cracks. So in this car, this, I don't know, what is it, an old Sunfire that isn't worth probably $200 or $300 salvage. In the front seat of this car were these 4 cylinder heads that I didn't even know they were here until accidentally I came across them today because an older gentleman was looking at some other cars I had. I don't know how they wound up in the car. I don't know if somebody was storing them there, they were throwing them out, getting the car loaded for scrap or what, but people always ask how I find the stuff I find is because I look everywhere, even in the stuff I already have, and you never know what you're gonna find. I guarantee hundreds of people have walked by this car and nobody noticed these cylinder heads. I didn't notice these cylinder heads until I happened to look in the car today because the septic guy was interested in this trailer right here. This tank on a trailer he was interested in, wanted to know if it had a vacuum pump. So I looked in the side of this car and found these 4 cylinder heads. 67 Shelby, 500, 69 Cobra Jet. You're looking anywhere from realistically a couple $1,000s in cylinder heads here, sitting in the front seat of a junk car for no reason whatsoever. So the next time you're in a junkyard, always look in cars because you'll never know what you'll find. I've found some of the craziest stuff in junk cars. One time I found a blower intake for a Hemi, for a 392 Hemi in the trunk of a Caprice Classic. I found a disassembled Harley Davidson in a station wagon one time. And today, lucky enough, I don't even have to buy these heads because I already had them apparently. So on this end of it, it's all profit. And I'll get these cleaned up and take a look, see if I can see any visible cracks since they've been sitting. But based on the tags and stuff, the heads should be, you know, ready for somebody to rebuild or reinstall. And the important part about the date codes is when you're restoring a car to Concours level, you need those date codes to be within a few months before when your car was built for them to be accurate for the restoration. So anyway, we're gonna load these up. We're gonna put them in the old Pajero. We drove out back to junkyard, and these are gonna wind up in the back seat, and we're gonna take them out and probably try to find them new homes. So when you see my finds, you see the things I do, it's crazy. Because I find stuff every single day because I'm willing to look in the places that other people don't look. This today just happened to be a car on my piece of property that I hauled off 2 years ago, and I made a cow fence out of it. I mean, that's what all this stuff is. It's cow fence for my cows to be in. So you'll never know what you're gonna find if you don't look. But the reason I find what I do is because I look everywhere and I look all the time. Yes, I know. Apparently I had these for 2 years and didn't know it because I didn't do the golden rule of always look in every vehicle I have. So anyway, hope you guys liked the video. A cool little bonus. This will help me pay for having my septic pump today, and it's a great Sunday. Have a good weekend.